Hey y'all, what's up? Alan checking back in. Got another video coming at you. Excuse me. Let's try that again. What's up, y'all? Alan checking in. Hope you guys are having a good day when you're watching this. Welcome back to the channel. Bet you guys didn't think I was coming at you with another video this quick, but I wanted to check out a couple more of these videos. I figured, what the hell, why not test drive as many of these cars as, as we talked about, yesterday in previous video about the Supra. And once again, cars that I'm interested in would be in that general kind of 40 to 70K price range. I really would like to stay more in the 50K range if possible. And I'm open to anything from overlanding vehicles, so things like what I'm going to look at today, which is a Toyota 4Runner Trd Pro 2021, which will be the last year of that body style, 11th year I want to say in production of that 4Runner. But either way, they made a bunch of good updates to it in terms of like LED headlights and just some modernization that it desperately needed. And it's obviously always been one of the best off-road SUVs out there, period. So gonna go look at that thing, and it's in that Lunar Rock color, which is the color for TRD Pro for this year. So obviously we could off-road that thing. I would even take a trip with the kids out to MOJAVE this summer with it, Colorado. Once again, I lived out there for about 7 years and have a bunch of friends out there. So we're gonna off-road that thing, camp, and do some different types of stuff with it. So I know this is a complete 180 from looking at the Supra yesterday, but I just kind of want to see, where everyone's, thoughts are, what you guys like, what you don't like. I mean, honestly, the Supra stuff just doesn't seem to do that well. I mean, I've done a couple videos over the last couple years on it, before it launched, etc. But, for whatever reason, I think most of the guys that subscribe to this channel are here for the truck, and, that I had the Ram Cummins and, the Jeep that I had, SRT Turbo that I built. Even the Evo, for that matter, really doesn't do well on my channel. So not quite sure why, but I figure I got enough speed in the house already with the Evo. I got the MR2, so let's look at some different types of stuff in terms of trucks and SUVs. See what you guys like, see how the views do, comments, etc., and we'll kind of take it from there. But once again, completely different route, obviously, but I think it's cool, and I've always been into 4Runners. Kind of a fun fact, my dad, who once again passed away last year in August, had a first-gen 4Runner that we used to take camping in Washington State, and we did everything in that thing, Boy Scout, Cub Scout stuff. It was awesome. So love the 4Runners, have a history with them, always have liked them. But I've also had Jeeps, for example, as well. So I've had a couple Wranglers over the years that you guys don't know about. And I really like the Gladiator. I don't like them stock, but once you throw like a set of 37s on them, I think they look sick, like the Rubicons. So, and I think that would be a fun vehicle as well. So pros and cons, in terms of SUV versus truck, and being able to, throw the dog in the back and have stuff be just a little bit more secure, and from weather, people breaking in, etc. So yeah, I don't know. So let's get up to that Toyota dealer. It's just a few miles up the road here, luckily. These things are really hard to find, actually. There's not that many of them. There's only one TRD Pro available on the lot within 100 miles of my house, and I'm in Chicago, guys. So that's pretty crazy. I think there's about, I don't know, a few hundred of them in the whole US on Auto Trader. So, not a ton of them. So it is a limited production vehicle. And the crazy thing is, these things sell for like 50K plus whatever options you get. And like, I literally am finding ones that are like 2017, 2018 with 30, 40, 50,000 miles on them. And they still want, 40 to 45 grand for them. So it's like, they really don't depreciate at all. So I think this is a safe bet. It's not something I'm going to keep forever, obviously, but I think it'd be fun for a while, something completely different for the channel. And honestly, I know the off-road guys will probably say it's not cheap in terms of it being a hobby, but I would definitely beg to differ. Racing cars, the type of racing I do, at least on a road course, and 7 20-minute sessions, in a given day of just balls to the wall, extreme temperatures, extreme brakes, all that stuff is, in my opinion, a lot harder, on the powertrain. Obviously, this is more about suspension and other stuff, but I still think it's going to be a much cheaper hobby than racing cars. So, and I can still race cars with the Evo, right? So, rambling as usual. So I'll check back in when I get up there. Peace. All right, well, I guess the TRD Pro was that hard to get or find. They literally had it on the lot for less than 48 hours. He said they just got it, and it sold last night. So that's kind of disappointing, but the sales guy was a complete fucking scumbag, so I was kind of relieved not to have to deal with him. But interestingly enough, they had two supers in the showroom, premium, excuse me, so V6 turbo, the good one. They had a black and a gray one in the showroom actually, but they were going for sticker right at 58. So once again, St. Charles Toyota, you know, doing them at 53. It's a pretty sick deal. So that's in the back of my mind, and I'm starting to get a couple more comments on the Super video, so who knows, maybe you guys do like it, so we'll see, you know, what happens with that one. But I think what I'm gonna do now, because it's lunchtime and I want to do a video and still look at something, but like I said, this guy was a douche, so we're gonna go somewhere else. But maybe we'll go look at a couple, you know, Wrangler. I'm not doing the 4-door for the record. I'm interested in the 2-door Rubicon, old school baby, short wheelbase, and the 4-door is just completely played out at this point. I want to say it accounts for like 80 or 90% of the sales for the Wrangler, so I'm in on that 2-door game. And I would also like to look at the Gladiator as well, Rubicon. So let's try to find a couple of those close to the house or where we're at, and we'll go check those out. Peace. Yeah. Thanks, man. All right, boys, this guy didn't want to go on the test drive with us. It's the difference between driving sports cars and driving Jeeps, I guess. It's crazy. I mean, when you go out in just basic cars, they're just like, here's the keys, you know, have fun, don't steal it. If we do, we'll find you. Speaking of stealing, that was what I was talking about. They had a bunch of Challengers and Chargers. The TRX were all broken into and stolen, but apparently they had GPS on them and they recovered them, but a lot of them were smashed up like that. But man, comment below, that's crazy. But here we go, we're off and away. We can't drive far because of course the gas light's on, good old dealership, but let's see what this thing drives like, huh? And I've driven a lot of the vehicles with the Pentastar V6 over the years. My buddy's got God, I want to say it's like a 2012 or 2013 2-door Wrangler Rubicon with this engine, so I'm not expecting it to be a whole lot different, but I'm just curious, you know, how noisy it is and, you know, just what its on-road manners are like. Is it really just, you know, similar to an old Wrangler, or is it going to be more civilized and quieter in terms of road noise? Obviously, it's going to be kick-ass off-road, we know that, but I think I see the sticker price through here, and I want to say this thing started out at $43,000, and as optioned, it's at $66,000, so $20,000 in options. Now, I love the blue, and I guess this Mojave package is awesome and all that, but I'm just like, man, can I just buy a set of Fox shocks myself and put on a set of wheels and a lift kit? I mean, I get the whole warranty and all that, but I don't know. I think that's a ton of money for this truck, especially, once again, a Rubicon. You know, basic Rubicons are in the low 40s, mid 40s, depending on how you option them. Maybe mid 50s if you get them decked out. So if this thing's at 66,000, we'll have to get a look at the window sticker and see, you know, what options are getting us there. But that's freaking nuts. So, but yeah, so far it's definitely quieter. You hear the tires for sure, and we're only going about 45, so it's got a good amount of tire noise, but I think that's just more the mud terrains that are probably on it, which, you know, any vehicle is going to experience that. But I've been told that the 4Runner, you know, being in a true SUV, is still going to be quite a bit quieter than something like this or a Wrangler. So I just don't know how much I would use the back of this thing. It's such a small bed. It's not like it's a real truck. I mean, I don't know if I'd rather have an SUV or, you know, the Wrangler for that matter. And I looked at the 2-doors, man. Those things are, I forgot how small they are. So I don't know, I'm just torn. I don't know. I think I like the Gladiator, the way it looks better for sure. But let me know what you guys think versus the 4-door Wrangler. My favorite's the 2-door Wrangler, but I just think with the 2 kids, and if I want to use it for any kind of trips or overlanding, I mean, good luck in terms of cargo space, right? So yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit more driving in this thing. We'll get back there, talk to this guy about price and all that, and I'll report back to you guys once I'm in the car. Peace. All right, boys, one more quick check-in. I'm just getting this thing up to speed, which I shouldn't be going this fast on this road, but I'm up to just over 70 right now. This thing is loud, man, and it's not even that windy today. I mean, this is what I mean with the Wrangler stuff. I mean, this would be really annoying, and I've got down to 65, but watch this, I'll go up to 75. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's really, really, really loud, honestly, guys. I mean, driving this thing to like Utah or Colorado would not be fun. I mean, and it kind of gets blown all over the road too. So I'm definitely getting a lot of the old Wrangler kind of flashbacks from college. So I don't know. So far I'm not impressed, especially for $60-something thousand. So, and they look cool and all that. I'm sure they're plenty capable off-road, but I think it's kind of gutless, especially with these bigger tires and the V6. And it's loud. So I don't know. Let's get a look at the price when we get back, talk to this guy, and we'll see. So talk to you soon. All right, guys, I'm back. Just had to take a quick break. I'm off to pick up the kids at good old daycare, and then it's dinner time, bath time, and reading books. Aren't you guys jealous out there? I bet, yeah. Single dad life. But anyhows, I just wanted to kind of wrap up the video. Ended up editing and mixing up most of it and realized I didn't kind of recap my thoughts in terms of the day. So I think my thoughts for the day overall are basically that I don't like the Gladiator. I think it's a great looking vehicle, especially once again with the big wheels and tires and all pimped out. I think they look awesome, and I'm sure they're unbelievable off-road. I don't think they're going to be as good off-road as a 4Runner or a shorter wheelbase Wrangler like a 2-door, for example, or even a 4-door Wrangler, right? So longer wheelbase is an issue. I don't think there's that much storage in a Gladiator personally. I mean, yeah, you could probably put a topper or some kind of setup in the back, but or a cover, obviously, like we had on the Ram. But I just wasn't digging it. The bed was small. It was loud as hell. I think the top speed in those things are 87 miles an hour, 87 or 97. I'm sure somebody will correct me below, or maybe I'll look it up for you guys. But either way, being a speed guy and being a guy that wants to use it to kind of go, cross country, to go to like Colorado and Moab and Smoky Mountains, and maybe even take it to Florida. My brother's got a pretty pimped out, sick Jeep, 4-door, with a winch and everything, right, that he off-roads, and I think 42-inch tires or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of like my thought process behind getting something that we could take overlanding, off-roading, camping, whatever you want to call it. And I am serious about that, for the record. So comment below on what you guys think in terms of the Jeep stuff versus the 4Runner stuff. I am going to try to find a Trd Pro. I have found a couple that are within driving distance that look like they're on the lot, so I'm going to call around tomorrow and see if they're available, and I'll try to go out and see one at lunchtime tomorrow and take one of those for a spin. So I really like the 4Runner Trd Pro and the Lunar Rock, that kind of greenish gray color that I showed you earlier in the video. So I think those things are sick, and especially for the money. I know they're a little dated on the inside, but I mean, just a proven machine off-road. It's not going to have the road noise like a Wrangler will. It's going to have a much higher top speed, obviously. It's got a higher towing capacity. Or excuse me, I'm sorry, the Gladiator actually has a higher towing capacity at 7,000 versus the 4Runner at 5,000. So the Gladiator does have the edge there, but outside of that, in terms of off-road stuff in that price range, if you guys have any ideas, drop them in the comment section. I don't think I want to go to a full-size truck in terms of camping or overlanding, but I do have a wild card for you guys. So I know the TRX is completely unattainable. For example, this dealership that I was at this afternoon, they had one and they wanted a $25K markup on it, $25,000 markup on it. So that's crazy, right? For a $75,000, $80,000 truck, that's just insane. So, those are going to be collectible, for the record, being such limited production trucks, and with the Hemi going away, as far as FCA goes. So That is pretty cool on that front. But I am into the F-150 with the Coyotes, right? So all-wheel drive, 10-speed, throw like a supercharger or maybe even a turbo kit on them. Those things are badass. We could do a little bit of towing with them, not like a 3/4 ton diesel, obviously, like we had before. But we could do, you know, more towing than we could do with most of the vehicles we've been talking about to date. So that's food for thought. That could be, you know, literally like a 9-10 second truck on a factory engine. It'd be a complete sleeper. You know, obviously we're not taking it off-road, not taking it overlanding, so it's completely different again there, but just want to throw some options at you guys. So yeah, rambling, you know, again as usual, so I'm gonna end it right here. But let me know what you guys think about the Jeep stuff overall, 2-door, 4-door, Rubicon, Mojave. The Mojave stuff, holy cow, is just super expensive. So the Rubicon stuff's definitely more affordable and in my price range, I think. So, and I like the idea of just kind of doing this stuff on my own. I don't really want to, you know, buy something that's got, you know, $20,000 in upgrades. It doesn't leave a lot for us to do, you know, in terms of modding it and having fun. So, but let me know what you guys think. And then, like I said, next video should be the 4Runner TRD Pro. Maybe I'll do a Tacoma TRD Pro if I can as well. And we'll check back in then. You guys have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.